and the transcription. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for coming this evening. First, we are going to hear from Carla Shafer. She is a local poet and the conceptualizer and editor of this book right here, this beautiful book, Solstice, Light and Dark of the Salish Sea. She will be our MC this evening, so please join me in welcoming Carla Shafer.
Thank you. So first of all, I hope you have your chat open. I want us to begin by acknowledging that wherever we are in North America, that we are gathered from traditional and unceded lands and territories of indigenous peoples from many, many different groups and families, and where we live and dwell here together is a real gift to each of us. So if you'll just take a minute now to enter into chat those and think about which people were here before the settlers came from Spain and Italy, well, England and all the other places we have all come from over the years. And then you can just look over in the chat and see all the people that were settled here and are still living among us and helping us learn new ways of thinking even today. And otherwise, I'm really excited about the book that has been put together as an exploration of the light and the dark of the Salish Sea. I think how we feel about it will be evident in terms of the poems that come forward. And it's my job to introduce to you Satsutum, who is Daryl Hillard, and the executive director of Setting Sun Productions. He's known for stage and film productions that encourage people, all people, young people, to step out of their comfort zone or where they've been and share their stories. In addition, his Setting Sun Productions comes from a family tradition of several generations as a way to preserve and share the cultural heritage of Lummi peoples. Daryl has served as tribal chair, and he was the founder and director of Lummi Youth Academy. He's a wonderful writer and poet. He gives great supports for poets and their projects, and certainly gave me wonderful support when I asked him to write the blurb about after having read the poems. He was like, yes, first person who said, yes, Carla, of course. So welcome, Daryl. Would you like to welcome everyone here tonight for us?
Siam, Nostalgia, Siam, Satsamton, Son of Snat. Ohila Quinsanat, Anatacha, Tiakai, Siam, and Nostalgia, Siam. Hello, my name is Daryl Hillard. I'd like to thank my friends and relatives for being here tonight. I'm really happy to be here. I'm happy to be at this gathering today to receive your medicine, this medicine for the heart and for the soul. These times we all need to share that medicine, your gift, if you will, your gift of poetry to the people. It's good for us to unite in these times, to receive these gifts from one another in these times. In these times, we also come to celebrate. We celebrate this book, Solstice, Light and Dark of the Salish Sea, put together by all of you. And truly honored to be part of this in your work. But I'm also here to celebrate the newly appointed poet laureate, Rena Priest, my dear friend, who's going to receive has received that honor. And we will have a ceremony as a people, Lummi people, all people at the Waklium our community building to bring her in the way that we know how with ceremony this Wednesday, April 14th at 6 p.m. It'll be live streamed via Children of the Setting Sun Facebook page, which will be shared with all the other agencies and groups and the like. So you will be able to find it, I hope. But if you want to start with Children of the Setting Sun Facebook page, you'll be sure to get there. So all of you, my hands and heart are up to you. And I'm thanking each and every one of you for being here tonight to receive these gifts. Untitled Chapter. And now we'd like to begin with the summer solstice poems.
My name is Priscilla Long. I am the light of the world. I am the color yellow, buttercups along the dirt road. I fling the sun's fire. I am the flecks in your sister's eyes, ironed napkins, polka dot dresses. I am the old Chester River at dusk, copper and pewter and burnished bone.
I'm Judy Kleinberg. From here, the days will fatten, sipping seconds of light through the chilly straw of winter to brighten and brighten among the blue snowed crags. Soil will sweeten toward tenderness, simple cravings, as your mouth hungers for the taste of peaches. Air, not yet languid, but eager, will reel, adolescent, all shoulders and elbows, teenage air, tumescent. And the plum tree, bride, slippers slopped with mud, will shimmy her gown to lure her flighty groom, the bees, as tulips and peonies foam with color, and you gulp new light, your mouth all round with kisses.
I'm Rena Priest, a study of light. The longest day is a study of light. When light behaves as discrete particles, it makes waves, but only when observed, or so I've heard. In my ancestral language, I recently learned that the word for river is the same as the word for Milky Way. The light today is torrential, unrelenting. It pours and I am caught in it. I can't stop it, so I lift my head and let it soak me while the luminous day goes on and on and on.
My name is Loretta Tobin. Solstice Prayer. 1. A baby cries and a tired mother reaches into his crib, picks him up, lays him on the changing table, carries him to her chair, and lifts his head to offer her breast to his mouth, then closes her eyes as he nurses. She tries to remember when she wasn't so tired, when the earth spun on its axis to the tune of a life she was as comfortable in as her chair, a life molded to fit. A June camping week at Lake Wenatchee, the smell of ponderosa pine, rotting leaves, damp earth, campfire smoke, hot dogs sizzling, and roasting marshmallows. Crawling out of her tent, she gazed at the fading afterglow of summer solstice, walked to the water's edge, listened to the sounds of water and forest, lingered until the light was gone. 3. What if she had investigated the giggle she heard in the trees? Was it only her imagination playing tricks? What if she stopped by the stump, the one next to the circle of stones? What if she danced? What if, with her arms outreached, she twirled in circles until her t-shirt and blue jeans became garments of flowers and leaves, like garments worn by Eve? Would her dance have prepared her for 2020, gifted her immunity or peace? 4. The baby asleep, she kisses his brow, places him back in his crib, glances into the green belt. The afterglow of the long solstice invites her to step out into the warm evening. What if she kneels out there, folds her hands together, and gives voice to her prayers? Could the sound float up and up, each word with wings? What if God hears?
I'm Lois Holub on Lummi Island. Everyone up early with the baby, a little coffee, some fruit salad, and leftover pie. Enough for the clouds to pass over the cove and the sun to return sparkling on the riptide. Now everyone is back to sleep on a bed, the window bench, or in a hammock swinging lullaby. And it's me and the purple martins out singing in the southerly breeze that ripples up wrinkles. So the surface of the bay is a watery brain with no words, no tides, just sound and salt and all that light.
I'm Jennifer Bullis. June. Each day opens like a clam, expansive, both taking in and giving. Each day crowds out dark's mollusk moon, its twin silver cusps. What is summer if not a wide crescent of damp sand, arrayed between forest, arcing steeply uphill, and the broad sweep of bay glazed blue? June says, I am the sky's gold coin. June insists, spend me all day long.
My name is Gary Wade. My poem is After the Castles, written while reflecting on Jennifer Bruder's Nomad Land, Surviving America in the 21st Century. Southern thermometers rise beyond the turn of the sun in June as higher heat is exchanged for declining light of days. An unhoused, not homeless nation turns its fan hoods north, seeks scut work or better jobs in the cooler climes while holding on to their safety net of friends. Their dreams are maintained by the drone of rubber-tired road song. Sometimes this fails if it drops in pitch. Someone bless, please, migration of the trumped through nomad land after the fall of castles. May God bless, too, the loved dogs who ride along as uber humanity fails.
My name is Suzanne Harris. Solstice Blessing. Lauds in the garden, while a deep and sensuous blue turns the night to dawn. Skyline of trees, a silhouette without texture or line. Flattened clouds slide stealthily south to north as black boughs shake their leaves in the faint wind's wake. Geese, orienting to magnetic lines, chant their call to flight. And now the rooster intones his blessing on a new day. Get up and watch its dawning. Get up and sing its praise.
My name is Aaron Silverberg. Popping sound a ripe strawberry makes when plucked. Peeling a purple raspberry slowly off its core like undraping your lover. Forest understory reflecting over black waters. Poppies swoon under the sun's tongue. Honeysuckle and mock orange wafting. Pear babies hanging upside down, lovely bottoms skyward.
Hi, I'm Nancy Canyon. This is my poem, Light Now. The sky is a scrim of gray, a backdrop to cottonwood and cedar, dark shapes resting against the 10:30 p.m. sky. Though it looks like day, it is late, salty and weary from long hours of yard work. Together we lie awake, viewing the light sky. We look on from our bed as the solstice arrives, pushing aside sultry air with cool fingers. How do we know what we know? This home of ours, an oasis, another lifetime, we had nothing. Summer, indifferent to status, arrives just the same, close and pale, light till late. The thread it weaves wraps us in nature's light, bringing comfort until sleep. Thank you.
My name is Catherine Johnson. Threshold. We are not random. Masks on, we move in arcs around each other, among the willows and the picnic benches. And I love how some people seem freer in a mask, strangers, I mean, their gaze so generous. Masks on, masks off. Is it just me, or are we all wondering what called us here? People lie on the benches or sway on creaking wooden swings. Some settle in the deepening shade on blankets laden with takeout. Some gather in clusters, masks off, squinted faces peering to the future while the children orbit. So many strangers. Eventually, we all turn to the lake, to the bristle of rain in the far north. A distant thunderhead wheels in front of the sun, while the sun just keeps laying out bolts of coral, rose, violet, laying it down on the horizon, setting the veils on fire. A lifetime of summers ripple through my bones, always this gracious lake, this long abiding heat. I want to believe this solstice is a threshold that we can cross together into one more timeless season of grace. But darkness settles, unravels the scene, spreads a film of shadow like an undertow. Mosquitoes bite,
The air gathers weight. The communion of strangers is dissolved. I remember that each night going forward will be longer than the last. And so I photograph my family, masks off, as they scramble to collect what's ours. I know it's too dark, but what little light we still have is beautiful beyond words, and I need to try.
My name is Bob Zaslow. This is Kupala Day. On the second longest day of the year, Paulina's and Daria's hands coarsen as they fashion wreaths of vines and nettles, as their mothers did. For tomorrow is Ivan Kupala Day, and as all Ukrainian girls know, they will cast off their wreaths like bread upon the Sula River, hoping it will return a man who will love them. But they are not their mothers. When they finish their wreaths, they massage lanolin into their hands, tie up their hair in crimson bows, and weave a plan B as old as Kupala and Cupid. Tonight, the young men and young women swim in the Sula River under the midnight sun. So Paulina and Daria, hands now smooth and supple, feet timid but defiant, and wearing only their crimson bows, wade into the sunlit water.
My name is Susan Chase Foster. Stonelight on the Henge. The month of June trembled like a butterfly. Pablo Neruda. In the far back of our little stamp of land lies a 12-foot circle of stones, each one selected by secret, intuitive ritual, preyed upon, embedded in holy dirt by a hired man, a henger by trade, so connected to the earth, he took on its various hues in his deeply bronzed skin, the splatter of terracotta freckles across his face and arms, the dangle of copper dreadlocks encircling his head, two brown mud puddle eyes, dark russet soil encased under his fingernails, staining his hands like henna. He arrived in early June, asked us to pay by the hour, and we might have complained about his sluggish pace of only 3 stones down in 12 hours each day after day. But with every stone he laid, the sun glowed brighter on the circle until on the afternoon of the solstice, he called us back to what resembled a jigsaw puzzle with only one piece missing. He gazed up at the cloudless sky until the exact moment the sun paused in her journey north, pirouetted and began to glide south. And then the trembling henger fitted a final stone into the earth. And we wept, wrote him a fat check, handed him a Guinness stout, which he sipped slowly in the shimmering circle of stonelight.
Bernice, are you still muted?
Do.
There.
Is that better?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Well, I really feel part of it listening to being in the Salish Sea, because of course, that is the language that the people who developed 12,000 years ago, Bowen Island, speak Salish. And this is my poem, Peace.
Before you begin, Bernice, would you tell us who you are? Just your name. Just give us your name.
Bernice Lever.
Great. Thank you.
Peace Day. Just a clean surface on everything and everyone, to be noticed and absorbed as the first time. Be curious anew, thrillingly open to all. Just an hourglass focus of stillness, memory locking wonder. Entering moonlight, moonrise or waterfall by choice, feeling your heart warming or weeping, truly awake to being alive. That's it.
I'm Luther Allen, and this is in recognition that after the solstice, every day becomes shorter. The encroachment of darkness. 2020 summer solstice soliloquy. The light nurtures the body. Water. Too warm, the death light of sun wilts this planet, burns grace, drowns hope. A labyrinth of hot glare, mythic madness, evil. The body nurtures the virus, flashbangs, the cough, the coming suffocation of fever, the rise of black as light, justice too late for the dead, the gasping of the future. The virus nurtures the heat, muted, masked, but somehow faith.
My name is Rena Priest. My poem, A Study of Time, begins the winter solstice section. A study of time. The longest night is a study of time. Time is relative to what you notice and where you aim your focus. Go into the freaky dark. If you wake to a feeling of ghosts singing in your ear, offer a prayer. Spend the shortest day in quiet observation. See how the sun shines, a silhouette of a window into an otherwise unlit room. The early morning light is low. The corners are dark. As the sun's shadow makes its bright arc, it lifts from pink to gold to white to apricot to copper to naught. Which is longer, the silence of day or the worry of night?
My name is Bethany Reid. Solstice Song. Time held me green and dying, though I sang in my chains like the sea. Dylan Thomas, Fernhill. At the winter solstice, darkness falls early, thin band of copper as the sun winks out. No matter how faint the light, I walk the shore, hands in my pockets, my hood pulled up against the wind. I might be a witch muttering incantations. I might be a raven dreaming of spring. The year turns indigo, burnt umber. My words rhyme with the green weeds, thick tendrils that lay in windrows along the dark shore. What chains are these, light and lengthening? What song is this? The sea bids me sing. Thank you.
This is Terry Harrison. Winter solstice, 4:16 p.m. The sun throws her light into a suitcase, dives into the sea, and slams dark's door behind her. I feel night flex its hands, crack its neck, and darken where I stand. The street under my feet vibrates as civilization seethes, loosening up its sweatshop tie to let the violence breathe. Then you. Paint the dark blue. I see you. I see your hand tip the moon down to light my way. You peel back her shy, gently tug her from her orbit, astray, waning and taut. Her silver you pour over me as you sing, Alea Kali, and a whiskey wind puts his lips to fragile trees and blows, a hoo-eh, hoo-hoo, hin-ho, soft silhouettes, shivering silk, priceless kimono. Numinous beings ancient, leaves the fans of geisha, their tremulous scent. A hoo-eh, hoo-hoo, hin-ho, alea kali, your voice, the sound of the Salish Sea. Orca turned salmon and she, come with me, away with me, alay. Walk with me in the long night of the shortest day. You offer me the lines on the underside of mushrooms, the cosmos in their decaying between, their caps opal planets gone too soon, pungent dismemberment, sidereal sheen. On a ground of golden kimono in a wind drunk and astray, you walk me toward a blue night, away from the shortest day. You gently tug me from my orbit, from man's carnival allure, and into your hand the solstice tips, silver splashed into your rough fur.
David, you're still muted.
I'm David Drummond. I'm not, hold on,
Yeah.
hold on, sorry.
David Horowitz should be reading his poem. He was muted during it. So
Okay, it's all good.
Horowitz.
I'm David D. Horowitz. Late, early. Stray snowflakes whisper to half-frozen curving stream beside the park trail. Chill and darkness penetrate the evening. Lamplights dotting distance by the street and houses' roofs. Dusk deepens. Dawn sleeps in, wakes late.
I'm Leslie Wharton. I was born on the equinox and I've had one vaccination, but my poem is called Solstice. Solstice. This far north, we celebrate the shortest day of the year. Secretly, we relish the dark, read books, simmer soups, build up the fire, cuddle down. We know after the darkest time, come brighter days, always. It is the way of humans to adjust, to lie fallow, recover, regrow, even frozen hearts. This far north, we celebrate dancing in the dark.
Hello, I'm John Green. I'll be reading Summer Light, Winter Dark. The longest light, the never night, is my love's and my forever day. The shortest light, the slowest night, happens to be my ex-wife's birthday. Thank you.
Okay, David Drummond.
Apologies. I'm David Drummond. Gulo, gulo. When you're one with snowshoes, you feel your claws underfoot. Grab each white bite and crunch. Duck around low branch, climb up white mounds. Steeper side invites you up slope. Steamy breaths coat your multi-hued guard hairs. Deadly long fang smiles at the drop. Mere child's play. You swan dive and hurdle bobsled down slope. Nearly billiards this forest gauntlet. Faster fur flows way back. Paws steer and push off over the slow spots. Longer hind print, round front paw. Was it daylight or near dark when you raced yourself at breakneck speed? No matter, at the bottom, blissfully inspired, away up the mountain you bounded as fast as joy allowed.
Bertolino. Black root. An elbow of black root breaks through a cushion of green moss. In the near distance, the chick, chick, chuckle of water as he scallops the shore.
Thank you, Jim.
Shore.
Beautiful. Bernice, did you unmute yourself again this time? No, you're still muted.
Yes, it's Bernice Lever back again. And this poem was written after reading John Newlove's poem about this time of year called Black Night Windows. My poem is called Dark Portholes. Dark portholes, the sea spray splashes the misted glass. A listless foam urged by waves dying in the distance. The sun gone down, the moon lost in dark clouds. As this ship, as our lives.
Thank you. My name is Jayne Marek. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My poem is Snow Geese. Urgent, their necks and wings outstretched, their wingtips flicker black, and their pale bodies faint against buffeting wind. They move so quickly into feathers of snow. One cannot count them, whirring toward the horizon as they turn and become one color with the late day, and now invisible sound of a beating heart.
My name is Janette Rosebrook. Monarchs and other lessons. Monarchs swarm south along the central flyway. Wing beats brush across mountain forests, their swish passing showers of snow. 9 lessons in transformation. Swallowtail, fritillary, checker spot, crescent, painted lady, morning cloak, blue, commas, and monarchs, braiding their bodies into garlands through the oyamel fur. They survive winter in hibernation, suspended in sparkling ribbons, orange, black, and ice. Thank you.
Okay, my name is Nita Boyle. First, darkness. A moonless winter night colors everything a single shade of black. A barred owl out back in the cedars fluffs itself against the cold. The scent of wood smoke and the probable snow drifts in my window, though winter's nearly done. It's a little after 5 when the owl hoots 8 times, then her deep hoo-wah. Light begins to open slow as lotus petals. The waning of darkness is like waking from the dead, if you can imagine, which takes time as the trees grow old while it happens. When the cowardly glow of morning arrives, not one frog is bold enough to speak. Yet there goes the owl again, in the first dim shot of dawn hooting. Her streaked feathers run down from the beak's sharp crescent to the dark curve of her insightful talons. The pussy willow's yellow-gray fuzz adds ironic color to the landscape. Because the grief of darkness is reluctant to leave too soon, the mice and rabbits, possums and raccoons impatiently rustle in the underbrush. The sparrows and nuthatches cling like ice to their twigs. The grit of the gravel under a lone car growls up the road. Then more silence. Why is it that at a certain point of the daily fulcrum, the light opens so decidedly? Once the day is broken open, the owl of the woods disappears into a pocket of tree. The others begin to scurry and stop, scurry and stop. They pick and eat, gather and hide, threading themselves around the lowest of branches, large bursts of fern. The lousy seed will catch their eye like a spark. The sun begins to change to the golden orange, a trace of warmth. Spring is in the wings, though the days turn still colder. Maybe soon we'll grasp the owl's wonderment as the new claw of the moon begins to rise.
My name, hello? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Paul, we can hear you.
Oh, okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I
Thank
can't
you.
see me, so I have no voice. My name is Paul Marshall. Confused, but I'm reading Why I Worship the Moon. Slipping outside into the dark on this biting cold December night, I'm aware of a place at my core that needs these nightly ramblings to keep me reminded of purpose and place. I am a pagan woodsman in this techno-Christian capitalist world. The murmuring river tells me to look up through a backlit drift of clouds where the full moon nods a warm hello. Is it genuinely affectionate greeting or just weary old watering eyes wanting a familiar companion on this winter's eve? We are old friends, the moon and I, familiar with these night visits. So many years, so many reasons to meet, such solace and compassion offered as she listens to my heart's songs. Tonight, nothing much need be spoken. The soul knows the depth of this meeting. If God were smart, he would have made his eminence visible as the moon. Absent a physical presence, God's metaphysical glory leaves me unmoved. I know, believers will say he is made manifest in all things. But I do not want my deep loves to be a promised mystery to me. True love does not send surrogates. When I step out into the cold night air, I want to see my God's radiant light shining down upon me, an open face, holding nothing back. No mystery, no need of faith, no promises of things to come.
My name is Priscilla Long. Depression. Slow, huge, and blind, part mastodon, part sloth, dark as death, dark but soft, its sharp edge too far to guess the end, or too far to guess the end where I or day begin. I cannot recall the sun. The beast feeds on sleep, and I sleep in soft quilts with the old cat. I curl to the darkness as to a lover. I wait for what it knows.
My name is Francine Walls. Hibernal. I have pressed your ashes into the garden, pressed them among the bulbs, seeds, cones, at deep rest. Come spring, the soil will erupt, replenished, never diminished, ripe with life, a forest of bristlecone pines, an acre of birch, an avalanche of poppies. From the darkness into the elongation of light, you emerge readied for wonder and exploration that will never cease. I'm CJ Prince. Light of Solstice Yule. Oh, I didn't go off, did I? Oh. Hello? I thought I had this down, Carla.
You're good. You're
Okay.
on.
Okay. Light of Solstice Yule. Lemon tart, a puckered yellow first, a blossom, then a fragrance, fades into a seasonal libation. The colors of winter's Yule reflected skin deep, black like starless midnight, eggplant smooth, tawny brown, white as fresh snow, or spotted pink, umber hues and leather raw, skin from Arctic frost to tropical straw, skin at home in sun summer, simmer, home and sun simmer or withering chill, susurrations of whispered words, around the world, fear and loss and weight of dross burn in Yule's warm fires. We, earth people, perhaps star people, settlers of the divine, caught in global distress, here to stay with the rest on earth to help untangle webs of wandering chaos, all of us here for each other.
So I'm Carla Shafer. Harvest of the lengthening shadow, which is night. In between dark of early winter, breathes light, a wide ornamental crack, which every time it opens onto me, I must act in a swaggering daylight way, as if it is I who belongs here, stripping shadow of its berries and squeezing out the purple juice in the long sipping of the night. So as the editor, I got to have the last word. That was a glorious moment for me. The people who wrote blurbs for us include Cindy Gutierrez Williams, who is a poet from Oregon. And she calls this a testament to the natural rhythms of life, celebrating summer and winter solstices. And she mentions that the sun, these poems that you've heard so far, fling the sun's fire and dance in the dark. So she asks you to accept these poems eagerly, which you certainly have accepted them. And we haven't read the whole book. We only read just under half of it. So there's more for you to enjoy. And Kim Stafford said in the collection, you have witnesses to the stations of changing light in a dark year. When you surrender to these poems, days will fatten, clouds will flex, and days will open like a clam. So I think that happened for me tonight. I certainly hope that it happened for each of you listening. And I wanted to thank all of the poets who took part in this experiment to collect such poems together. There are also 4 pictures in the book, so it makes it a little different than other poetry books you may have seen lately. And I really want to thank each of you poets for the gifts of words and feelings and the way you've witnessed to the light in the dark for all of us. It's just a wonderfully word-rich experience. In addition, I would like to thank Norman Green at Threshold Documents, who helps make productions like this actually get completed. He's kind of a genius that way. And the layout of the book and the cover design was done by Stephanie Hopkinson, who lives out in the county and is a fabulous poet in her own right. There must be somebody else to thank. No, I think that's everybody we're going to thank. So Well, we could thank Bethany Reid. She helped me edit it. And everybody else who paid attention through the year that it took to put it together and kept saying, not too much about when would it get done, but everything about what your needs were and how we could meet them. So thanks. Questions, are there any questions from anyone to anyone? You can turn your mic on and ask a question.
Will it be possible to, Bernice Lever asking, will it be possible to order extra copies? And then when I'm allowed to go across the border, I could come and get them and not worry about trying to get postage and delivery at this stage.
Well, we may have a strategy where we could meet you at Peace Arch Park. I hear there's a place there where Canadians and Americans can mingle.
That's true. We have a picture to prove it.
So let's try that, Bernice. Otherwise, you can order the books at Village Books. They're all available there.
Carla, this is Susan. I just want to thank you so much. This book is beautiful. It's just gorgeous from cover to cover, and all the poems are beautiful. I'm just so overwhelmed and impressed. So thank you so much. Yes.
Well, we'll get as much light and dark as we could. Sorry if I cut you off there, Susan.
That's okay.
You're- got shunted, but yeah, that's another one of the pictures. It says
Carla,
our is unstable. Yes.
it's Bob Zaslow. I wanted to show Rena her picture and thank her for being Poet Laureate. Can you see it? Because I can't see my own screen.
Yeah,
I'll
everything
send this.
there now we can see it.
Can you lift it up a little, Bob? Lift it up higher. There we go.
We're so proud of you, Rena. I'm
Thank
so
you.
happy to know you and to be in the same space with you. You're extraordinary. And I want to thank everybody else. What beautiful poetry and what beautiful readings. I had a blast. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
Rena is also the youngest Washington State Poet Laureate that's ever been crowned. So good job. Well, if there are no more questions, I think we can turn it back to you, Claire. This has gone great.
Well, this has just been so wonderful to sit and listen to. I want to thank all of you for your beautiful words, and Carla for putting this together. This really is a very beautiful book. So I did put, of course, being the bookseller in the room, I did put the link in the chat to the Village Books website where you can purchase copies of the book. I also put the link in the chat to the event on Wednesday night so that we can all see Rena, the passing of the laurel. That last link that I put in the chat is the link to that event, so you can register for that and be there to watch and support her as she accepts her appointment. Congratulations, Rena. I think that that's all I have. This is recorded. It's going to be on our YouTube channel. And I'm just so grateful to all of you for being here this evening. Any final words, Carla?
Yes, it's been a great night, and there'll be some drumming there at the Wexleyan, won't there, Rena?
Yes,
And
our
so-
tribal chairman and the Black Hawk Singers are going to sing the procession in, and Claudia Castro Luna will be joining us at the Wexleyan to pass the
Well, she'll
laurel.
have the time.
We're very excited.
It'll be a good visual to watch, so thank you for making it possible for us.
I hope you'll all join us.
Okay, thanks
This
for a
was
great night, everyone.
Lovely. Thank you, Carla.
Yep, that's a good note to end on. Thank you all so much. Have a lovely evening.
Thank you, Carla.